people just going, what is that? Take it all in, I'm a visual feast, Brighton. I was just practicing this one backstage if I try it out up here. A bit of walking around. It worked. Now it's not working. The woman said, like Noel Fielding. Someone said to me last night, it was two tramps. I was walking down the road and I got heckled by two tramps, right? One of them went, look, it's Pete Doherty, and the other one went, yeah, got him wrong. I said, fuck off, I'm trying to be a leather scarecrow, actually. They didn't know what a scarecrow was. So yeah, is everyone alright? I've just moved to Brighton. I fucking love Brighton. It's brilliant because I can get a bus to the gig. I don't have to drive, and the buses have all got names. So when I'm late for the gig, I can ring up and go, yeah, sorry, my driver, Mr. Henry Winterthorpe, was late picking me up. It's brilliant. But yeah, I stood backstage. I didn't know what was going to happen, how long between the last act and me, whether it was going to be quick fire, right? And so you have to kind of just work out what's going to happen quite quickly. Like I was trying to remember what jokes I was going to do, right? But I was also standing there thinking, have I got time to quickly go for a wee? And I thought, of course I've just run in there, go to the toilet, it'll be like 1 minute, I'll be back in time before they announce me to the stage, right? But I thought, what if I go in there and I go for a wee and it turns into a poo? No, like not literally, like I'm not saying I'll be stood at your urinal, this man will be stood there going, what the fuck is wrong with this man's diet? I'm a comedian, all we do is eat Ginsters and drink Red Bull, it's fine, it's always that colour, right? But I'm saying, like, what if I have to go and sit down in the cubicle, right? Some people have seen me walking about at the bar and stuff, thought, look at how that guy's dressed, he must be one of the comedians, right? So you know that I'm on the bill and I get announced to the stage and I don't turn up and everyone's looking around for me. They realise that I'm in one of the cubicles, so you come in and you'll have to listen to one joke each through the petition. I was thinking, what if that happens? I was thinking, like, what if I go in there, right, and I do the wee and it's fine, it doesn't turn into a poo. What if I go in there and I do a wee, right, and I haven't got time to wash my hands, right? I come out here, I put my pissy hands all over the microphone, right? Other comedians come up here, literally die on the spot because of me, and I never work in showbiz again. I'm thinking, what if that happens? All this running through my head before I come out here. So I think, what if I go into the toilet and wee in a pair of gloves? Again, not in a pair of gloves, but with a pair of gloves on, right? That man, he's still looking at me in the eye and I don't know what he's doing. He sees me weeing with the gloves on, he comes out here, he tells all you lot and goes, don't laugh at this guy's a weirdo, he needs with gloves on. I'm thinking, what if that happens, or if it becomes awkward? Thinking, what if I put my gloves into a bag, right, afterwards, into my satchel, and I go about my business? Maybe one day in about 6 months' time, I walk around the streets of London, right? A small orphan boy comes up to me, he goes, excuse me, can you help, it's ever so cold? And I have a rummage around, I find the gloves, I don't remember where they've come from, I give them to the small boy. He has a lovely day going around London in his pissy gloves, right? He goes back to his orphanage, right? He sits down for supper. The orphan master comes around and checks everybody's hands are clean. Turns out that he's got 6-month-old piss in his hands. He kicks him out in the snow and he dies. What if that happens? All this stuff going through my head before the gig. I'm thinking, what if I go in there, right? I go to the toilet and it's fine. I come out the toilet, right? I get to just the door before you come around to come on the stage. Goodness knows how she's got. There's a woman standing there doing a survey. She goes, excuse me sir, have you got a moment to do a quick survey? I'm like, not really, I've got to do a gig in a second. She's like, it's really quick, it's only 3 questions, what's in it for me? I say to her, she goes, you get a new scarf. I'm like, let's fucking go. She goes, question 1, what's your name? Easy, Joe Page. Question 2, where are you from? I tell her where I'm from. Question 3, she goes, have you ever been on a speedboat? Now, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, ladies and gentlemen, but I've certainly never been on a speedboat, right? But I'm thinking, what if I say no? Do I not get the brilliant scarf, right? So what if I lie to her? What if I go... There was this one time when I was working for MI6 and I looked out the window of my office onto the River Thames and I saw the bad guys going past with a speedboat. So I went down to the speedboat department. They went, give us one of them, mate. He went, you're on your own work experience, you're not qualified. I'm like, fuck off, give me the speedboat. I jump in it, I chase them out onto the River Thames, right? I'm riding it, I don't even know if it's called riding, I'm chasing them, they do a U-turn, it spins me out, I've never ridden one before. I hit the Millennium Dome, a big hot air balloon comes down to save me. She goes, is this the opening sequence to a James Bond film? And I go, yeah, it is. She goes, so you lied to me? I go, do I still get the scarf? She says, no. What if that happened? But I really needed to go for a piss, right? So I thought, fuck it, right? I took a chance and I went. It was fine, nothing happened. I got the reaction a little bit like an audience watching Andy Peters being chased off the end of the pier by a troll on a milk float to his watery death. Some people clapping and cheering, some people not quite sure what's going on still. That's fine. I mean, we've got a gentleman down here in the front row, he's looking at me, he's not quite sure, looks a bit like a scared beetle. Like he's in the middle of someone's kitchen just looking up. A lady comes in, he doesn't know it's a lady, he's a beetle, he calls it camel human because of the humps. She treads on him by mistake, she's not malicious. He thinks he's died because it goes pitch black, but he's just in the crevice between the heel and the sole, right? She lifts her foot up as she opens the fridge, he sees the bright white light, he goes towards it, right? Ends up living on a wheel of cheese next to 3 bottles of Coke for 6 weeks, comes out, tells his friends, none of them believe him. That's how confused this man looks. The heat's off this man because I've just looked down here and this lady just looks scared. That they've let a real live yak on the stage. Which would be irresponsible if they did, because this is not a yak-proof gig. If it was a yak-proof gig, they'd have a fence up, but obviously you'd have nothing to worry about because the yaks are quite friendly by nature and they only eat herbs. They're herbivores, right? So you don't know, they wouldn't eat you, right? But what if in the hard times, yeah, they've been going to get speed from the pound shop and all they can afford is chocolate fingers, right? Because they're from the pound shop, they contain real human fingers, right? So this yak's been getting a small taste of some human fingers, but I still wouldn't, because if I was a yak on the stage, they'd put up a proper yak-proof fence. But what if I've been working out in the yak gym and I had the strength of 2 yaks and I broke down the fence and I came over, you'd be scared, but there's nothing to worry about, so I just want to see what iPhone apps you've got. So, a lot of people have a pop at me because I don't really do any topical material. I've noticed recently, ladies and gentlemen, since the invention of cars, there's a lot of horses stood in fields looking a bit bored. This is an impression of a horse in the field looking a bit bored. It's an impression of a horse talking to his friends on Twitter. It's an impression of a horse with wireless internet talking to his friends on Twitter. He can go wherever he wants about the paddock with his wireless internet. This is an impression of a horse talking to his friends on the internet with wireless internet, but he's run out of battery on his laptop, so he can only go as far as the lead from the computer to the wall or legs. So that's kind of pointless having wireless internet in the first place. I get confused sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, right? Like I did a gig the other night, right, and it went really well, not like this one. And it went really, really well, and so to reward myself, I thought I'm going to have myself a Mars bar, because that's how I roll, right? I went into the M&S at the train station, right? And I thought, just going to get in the queue because the chocolate's always right near the front by the tills, right? I got in the queue, and as I was getting close to the chocolate bars, I could see them all, right? But I couldn't really work out which one was the Mars bar because what I realised was that all their food has got its own names. They don't have the real food, right? So now I'm looking there thinking, what would they call a Mars bar in Marks and Spencer's language, right? I'm looking through. I spotted the caramel nougat treat bar, right? So I'm thinking, when I get there, all I've got to do is pick up a caramel nougat treat bar, right? So all you've got to do, pick it up, Paige, yeah? Just get it, right? And then as I get closer, I see Trouble out the corner of my eye on the other side. I see their version of the Bounty. Coconut Surprise Delight. I mean, do I want a caramel nougat treat bar? Do I want a coconut surprise delight? Do I want a caramel nougat treat bar? Do I want a coconut surprise delight, right? I get there, there's a big queue of people behind me, I panic, right? Pick up the first thing that I can lay my hands on, not even a caramel nougat treat bar, nor is it a coconut surprise delight. What I in fact pick up is their version of a Terry's chocolate orange. A Marx's chocolate orange, if you will. Right, and I paid for it, and I thought that was what I bought, and so I got the change in the receipt, right? And it realised to me as I read the receipt that what I'd in fact picked up was a Marxist chocolate orange, which is a nightmare because you have to share with everybody in the queue. For those of you that aren't very up on your politics, I've written an alternative punchline. What I in fact picked up What I in fact picked up was their version of a Terry's chocolate orange. It was a Howard Marks and Frank Spencer chocolate orange, which isn't even edible. You can either hide drugs in it or smear it in the carpet and pretend you've done a whoopsie. It's also called alternative, which means it's rubbish. So what I'll do is I'll leave you on this one. A lot of people say that I look like I'm in a band, and I always don't know how to end gigs, so I always wanted to be in a band, so I'm just going to end it like this. This is our last one. I wrote it when I was having some trouble with my car. It's called Car Trouble. So my car was broken, so I took it in to get it fixed by a mechanic, right? And he was looking around under the bonnet. He made that noise that all mechanics make. He went, "No, mate, it's fucked. Absolutely fucked." I looked under his hat. It was only a horse-dressed mechanic trying to get his old job back. I was furious. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been lovely. I've been very pleased. Good night, God bless you.